Welcome back, returning students and parents. Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Now, since the students have already absolutely mastered the basics of game creation with Mr. Keel in that prerequisite game design class, it's time to totally step out of that traditional classroom mindset. We are jumping right into a professional studio simulation. This is literally where theory becomes reality. So, the big question for all our returning developers out there is pretty simple. Are you ready for the next level? You've got the foundation set, right? But what happens next? Well, I'll tell you, the stakes for this upcoming school year are about to get significantly higher. It's no longer just about figuring out how to make an object move on a screen. Now, it is all about crafting a complete, polished, start-to-finish experience. You see, the difference between learning the ropes and actually running a studio is, well, it's massive. In that introductory course, the main goal was really just learning the engine and figuring out the basic tools. But in this advanced course, students are making a huge shift. They're going from just making games to managing a full-blown, independent studio production cycle. They aren't just students anymore. They are producers, narrative designers, and quality assurance leads, basically all rolled into one. It's an incredible leap in responsibility, for sure. And all of this transformation is happening right here at Chantilly High School. This is a really unique, one-credit opportunity for 10th to 12th grade students, and it goes way, way beyond your standard curriculum. It's designed to challenge developers to meet actual, real-world industry standards. We're talking about analyzing ethical impacts, adhering to ESRB ratings, and even navigating some pretty complex stuff like intellectual property law and accessibility guidelines. Seeing high schoolers tackle these heavy-hitting industry realities, it is truly impressive. Now let's talk about the pacing of the year, because it perfectly mirrors a real-world game industry release schedule. Quarter 1 kicks things off with narrative design, really establishing the world's culture and ethics. Then Quarter 2 shifts gears into production planning and asset creation. That's where the world actually starts to look and sound real. Quarter 3 is that absolutely critical phase for builds and quality assurance, which leaves us right into Quarter 4. That wraps the year up with beta testing, publication, and marketing. Honestly, it's a full sprint to launch. And here is a real game changer. Standard high school homework is practically replaced by the expanded Game Design Document, or GDD. In the professional industry, a GDD is known as a living document. It serves as the absolute single source of truth for a project. For this class, it acts as a massive professional blueprint that tracks their entire capstone project, from that very first initial pitch all the way to the final marketing package. It requires just an astounding level of organization and vision. But don't worry, there is some intense academic rigor behind all this fun. Because, to make sure these games are actually good, students are going to apply Matt Almer's 13 principles of gameplay design. They'll rigorously evaluate their own mechanics against core principles, things like anticipation, physics, and appeal. This is what elevates their work from just a typical student project into a professional feeling experience that players are genuinely going to enjoy. And they're executing all these principles using a highly professional tech stack. Students are going to build and deploy their projects using Unity 6, which is just an absolute powerhouse in the gaming industry right now. They'll learn the highly technical process of utilizing build profiles to compile stable public-facing versions of their games for both web and mobile platforms. Guys, this is exactly what professional developers do every single day. Now, parents, rest assured, these developers won't just be working in a vacuum. Peer reviews in this class act as formal quality assurance and beta testing to catch any major issues before the big launch. Evaluators will play through the builds at least twice. They rate them on a 1 to 5 scale, identifying any of those critical rating 1 issues, and, most importantly, they provide actionable written feedback. It's this incredibly collaborative crucible that really refines the final product. But actually, peer review inside the classroom isn't enough. 10. Yep, 10. That is the exact number of external testers every single student is required to recruit. Taking the game completely out of the classroom, students have to get at least 10 friends and family members to sit down and play their deployed build. They need to gather that vital feedback to find the game's unique hook. Because let's face it, real-world testing means real-world feedback. Once all that external feedback has collected, the business side of the course officially kicks into gear. Students will actually prompt an AI language model to help synthesize those responses and craft a highly professional marketing package. This includes the whole shebang, designing storefront assets like a high-impact app icon and banner, generating compelling App Store sales copy, and even editing a polished 15 to 30-second gameplay trailer to really captivate a modern audience. And it all leads up to this, the final capstone portfolio. The ultimate takeaway from this class isn't just a final letter grade on a report card. No way. Students walk away with a comprehensive, market-ready portfolio piece. We're talking a polished demo of an original game with dynamic NPC AI, the fully documented expanded GDD, and that complete marketing package we just talked about. It is tangible, undeniable proof of their technical and creative mastery. In fact, the core mission of the final assessment sums it up perfectly. It challenges them to transform your initial game pitch proposal into a polished, professional portfolio piece that documents the full technical and creative execution of your game. That quote just perfectly captures the sheer scale and the professional value of what is accomplished in this course. It's a massive undertaking, but with incredible, incredible rewards. So, to all the parents watching this explainer, prepare to be completely amazed at what your kids are going to create over these coming months. And to the students stepping into advanced game design, your studio is waiting. What world will you build? Because trust me, the world can't wait to play it.